Alright guys, so just so you know, the cuts, I've done some cuts with saws and chains and everything. The cuts are going to be scattered, so you'll have to watch it all to get all the most even things. Like, you know, I cut some with some Archer chain, then cut some with the RS chain, then went back and done them all with the, I put the new Archer chain on thinking it was the Husqvarna or the Oregon because the bars wouldn't line up, which you'll see all that. And well, this Stihl bar wouldn't fit on my Huskies without notching the bar slide out some to get it to go back. And I didn't want to do that because I'm not planning on running this bar that much. I'm gonna get me a 25 lightweight. But anyway, what I'm getting at is that Archer chain just don't cut like the Stihl or the Husqvarna chain or even the Oregon chain for that matter. It's probably, and I don't know, we'll see the times here. You're fixing to watch it. I'm fixing to edit it. I've not edited it yet. So I'm going to edit and post all this. This is going to be the intro to the video. This is the intro to the video, but it's the very last thing that I'm doing. So anyhow, all you YouTube guys, you'll understand that sometimes you just do things in different orders. But anyway, this saw cut's good. The 562 and the 572 cut good. I had no complaints. They've always started, they've always cut every time I went to use them, which I've had them long, a couple months, you know, and I've not had this long. And 6 months, all these things may be turds. I don't know, you know. I don't just do a horribly lot of cutting, but I do more cutting than your average firewood burner does, you know, because I try to make a little money doing it. I've been a little slow on cutting here the past couple weeks just because it's been so daggum hot. I worked out in it all day, and unfortunately, after I do that for 50 hours a week, then I just don't have a whole lot of big desire to go out and cut 4 or 5 hours of the afternoon and then do it on the weekend. So, not that I don't love cutting, because I do, it's just the man's got to have a break every once in a while. And I still am going to do a little cutting here and there, you know. But anyway, enough rambling. I get sidetracked very easy. This saw is great. It's light, it's 14 pounds, and or 1434. And you know, it's just crazy how much power this thing has. It honestly feels like, I know it ain't got quite as much torque or maybe change speed as the 572, but it just about feels like it's more torquey. Like there was one time I was dogging in, this thing, I was doing them about the same, like just letting it start at the beginning, and that 572 just hang up, you know, for some reason. I don't know what the deal was with it, if the wood was in a bind or what, but it did that the same way, and this never bound up unless I really tugged on it. So it's just a different kind of power, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's hard for me to explain. This may be slower than the 572, but to me, this right here will do everything that the 572 will do. It's got the low end more so than the 572, I believe. Which I haven't, you know, sometimes when you run saw stuff feels faster than what it actually is. And I'll go back and time it, and we'll see. But as long as this saw is reliable, and I've heard that it was built for, the West Coast, like firefighters that they got a name, I can't think of it, but you know, when there's a forest fire or a wildfire, they go out and cut the trees down to kind of try to contain it or whatever. Anyway, I heard and read that it was built for them to make them, this was built to be lighter and more reliable for them. So I don't know how true that is or whatever, but I read it somewhere. I don't know if it was on a arborist post or if it was actually someone's Stihl literature or what. So don't quote me on that. I don't know that, but I did read it somewhere, and whether there's any truth to it or not, I have no idea. So I'm sure somebody knows, and I'm sure somebody will tell me if I'm wrong. All right, out here on a good old hot southern Kentucky day. Y'all just see me retune this 400C. I'm gonna cut with it first. Do 3 cuts as usual. One just letting the saw work, one steady pressure, and one dogging in on it. And also, I'll cut with it first, and then I'll cut with it last in case the wood gets in a different, it's a pretty, even straight piece of wood, but it will have some variance on it. So, wish that I would have done all this before I put the bark box and filter on. But in all honesty, I mean, you may gain a second or two. I don't really know. I mean, you do gain a second or two. I know that because of what I did with the 500i. But my thing is, I didn't want to get the saw all nasty and stuff before I done it. So. We gotta change the bars out. I will tell you, that is a very comfortable saw and light saw. A little lighter than 562. Honestly, to me, it feels a little better than 562, and absolutely a cutting machine for the size of saw it is. In all honesty, I think it'll pull a 2-foot bar fine. It's more torquey than to me, it's more torquey feeling than the 562. Of course, I know I got the bark box and air filter on it. So I got the 572, and we're going to do the same thing, normal fashion. And 3 cuts. If I bog it down, then I will do another one, so it'll be fair. You got to find the sweet spot when you're dogging in. You can't go too much, and you can still go too much and it actually slows the saw down. But if you can find that sweet spot where it's still pulling at max power, which for Husqvarna is like 9,600 RPMs in the cut, then you're getting all you can and you're pulling on it. So, it's one of them deals. Sweet starting saws as well. That 400C is a sweet starting saw, but this is a much heavier saw for sure. we'll fire this Stihl up one more time and see if she'll cut. Let's see if she'll start from the after sitting here this long. I'll just go ahead and tell you that'll be my new go-to saw for everything besides falling big trees. Limbing, bucking, that thing's light, powerful, and I hope Stihl comes out with a like a 200, like a 50cc saw like these, like 9. They can make that thing weigh, you know, 9 pounds or so, full of gas and oil, make it weigh 11 pounds, and shit, they'd be right on cue, boy. I tell you, they'd be all right. Okay, I've got the Stihl 33 RS on the 562. I'm gonna redo these cuts here. Like I said, just for the simple fact that I feel like that archery chain is slow. I may be wrong, but it'll just be more fair of a comparison. See if this 562 starts. It's been sitting here. I've went and eaten supper, so it's probably been sitting here a good 30 minutes. I'll see if it'll start with no choke. I will purge it a little bit, and we'll see how it does. Pretty good. That's pulling a lot better, like the 562 I remember. Steady press. it done a lot better with the Stihl chain. So I'm gonna put it on the 572 and I'll bring y'all back. All right, I got the 572 barred and chained up with the Stihl chain on it. Alright, so I've cut quite a bit, and I ran nearly probably a tank of gas through this thing. No, actually not. I still got about a quarter of a tank, I guess. Them cuts, she likes the gas. I mean, you know, she's a little thirsty. But, you know, honestly, I've cut several cookies out here this afternoon. So, and especially with that 400, I done all the cuts on the chain test and everything like that. So, you know, I'll have to say, my two favorite saws right now, would be the 400C and the 500i. You know, I kind of wished I would have cut some with it before I put the bark box and that filter on it, but I didn't, just because I didn't want the saw to get like that right there, and then me trying to dye the plastics and do what little bit of pin striping that I did. I normally color in the Stihl down here where it's white. I black it out, and then like on my other one I blacked this out, but I did black the filing sight on the clutch cover out. So I just didn't want it to get nasty, and you know, I know it helps it some for sure, but you know, it ain't making it gain 10 seconds on anything. It does give a little more torque, but it just is what it is. That's how I'm going to run them. So, you know, you can be in that, if you want the bark box and the filter and everything, you can be in it for $100 or so. Really, the filters are like, depending on where you get them, 25 to 35, and I think the bark box is like 70 something bucks maybe. I'm thinking, don't quote me on that, but so, you know, that's the only performance stuff that I've done, really. I mean, I've got the fallen dogs and that handle on and stuff, but that don't affect the way it cuts. So, but anyhow, it's a sweet little saw. I like it. I enjoy it. I've been leaning on it pretty hard, you can tell, on all of them, because the bars are already starting to get black. So, you know, I buy stuff to use. You know, I try to make it look good, but I do buy stuff to use, so that just is what it is. While this thing is warm, I'm gonna go tweak on my bolts and make sure my muffler bolts and make sure they didn't come loose. But anyhow, we'll see you on the next one.